Let me guess. You've got money coming in every month, but somehow you're still broke. You've got a credit card balance that never seems to go down. A car payment you regret a little more every time it hits. Maybe student loans. Maybe all three. And every time someone talks about making money, the advice is always the same. Pay off your debt first. Don't even think about investing. Focus on survival. And you're sitting there like, cool, but how do I actually move forward? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. If you wait until you're debt-free to start building momentum, you could be waiting years. And that's exactly why this video exists. Because yes, you can make money while you're in debt. And no, that does not mean gambling, day trading, or selling courses on Instagram. My name is Lonk, and I spend way too much time thinking about money psychology, debt, and how normal people actually build wealth in real life. If you're someone who feels stuck in debt, overwhelmed by bills, and secretly worried you're falling behind everyone else, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Now look, this is not going to be one of those get-rich-quick videos. But by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly how people escape debt faster by making money at the same time, and why the traditional advice you've heard is, honestly, incomplete. The lie everyone tells you about debt. Here's the thing. Most financial advice treats debt like a switch. You're either in debt or you're building wealth. And until that switch flips, you're basically supposed to pause your financial life. But real life doesn't work like that. According to the Federal Reserve, over 77% of American households carry some form of debt. Credit cards, auto loans, student loans, mortgages. And yet, people still invest, start businesses, increase income, and improve their financial situation while carrying debt. So clearly, there's more nuance here. The real question isn't, can you make money while in debt? It's, what kind of money should you be making and why? Because there's a right way and a very expensive wrong way. Why just pay off the debt often backfires. Now, you might be thinking, Lonk, shouldn't I just throw every dollar at my debt? Sometimes, yes, but often, no. Here's why. Let's say you have $8,000 in credit card debt at 18% interest. Minimum payment, $200 a month. You cut everything. No fun, no margin, no breathing room. And what happens? One emergency hits. Car repair, medical bill, job hours cut, and boom, right back to the credit card. This is where it gets really interesting. Debt is not just a math problem. It's a behavioral problem. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau found that people who operate with zero margin, no buffer, no flexibility, are far more likely to reaccumulate debt, even when they are aggressively paying it down. So if paying off debt makes your life fragile, it actually increases the odds you stay stuck. Which leads us to the first real rule. Rule number 1. You don't need more discipline. You need more margin. Here's what most people don't realize. You don't escape debt by being perfect. You escape debt by being resilient. And resilience comes from cash flow. Let's talk numbers. Imagine two people. Person A pays $800 a month toward debt. Has $0 left over. One surprise expense equals setback. Person B pays $500 a month toward debt. Makes an extra $500 a month on the side. Builds momentum and protection. Person B wins every single time. Not because they are smarter, but because they have options. This is why making money while in debt isn't reckless. It's strategic. The 3 types of making money, only one actually helps. Now look. Not all income is created equal. And this is where people mess up. There are 3 types of money moves people make while in debt. 1. Speculative money, the dangerous one. This is the stuff people hope will save them. Day trading, crypto flipping, options, high-risk investing. The psychology here is desperation. I need this to work. And desperation plus leverage equals disaster. This is not how you escape debt. This is how debt gets worse. 2. Passive income, the overrated one. This sounds great in theory, but passive income usually requires money, which you don't have yet, dividends, rental properties, portfolios. These matter later, Not now. Free, earned income expansion, the one that works. This is a boring answer, but it works. You escape debt by temporarily increasing your income, not permanently changing your identity. And the best part? Earned income has zero downside risk. Why income is more powerful than interest rates. Let's do the math. Say you have $10,000 in debt at 15% interest. That interest costs you about $1,500 a year. Now imagine you increase your income by just $400 a month. That's $4,800 a year. You just overwhelmed the interest without refinancing, negotiating, or being perfect. Income is leverage, and unlike debt, it works for you. Where people go wrong with side hustles. Now, you might be thinking, Long, I've tried side hustles. They suck. And yeah, most do. Because people chase identity instead of efficiency. They want a business that sounds impressive instead of one that works. Here's the rule. Your debt escape income should be temporary, boring, and reliable. Not sexy, not scalable, just effective. Think. Freelance skills you already have. Overtime or contract work. Service-based work with fast pay. Monetizing existing assets, not buying new ones. The goal is not to build a brand. The goal is to create breathing room. The $500 rule and why it changes everything. Here's a simple framework I want you to remember. If you can increase your monthly income by $500, 3 things happen. 1. You reduce financial stress immediately. 2. You speed up debt payoff dramatically. 3. You stop needing motivation to stay consistent. Let's say you put that $500 directly toward debt. That's $6,000 a year. Most people don't need a miracle. They need one manageable income shift. And here's the psychological magic. When progress becomes visible, behavior changes automatically. Why small wins matter more than big plans. Here's something behavioral economists talk about all the time. Humans don't stick to plans. They stick to feedback loops. If nothing changes for months, you quit. If you see progress in weeks, you continue. That's why making money while in debt works so well. It shortens the reward cycle. You feel momentum. And momentum is addictive in a good way. The debt while building strategy. I'm not saying ignore your debt. I'm saying sequence matters. This isn't forever. It's a season. Being broke for a decade is more exhausting. You're not suffering blindly. You're suffering with direction. Motivation is unreliable. Systems aren't. Money pressure narrows thinking. Relief expands it. You stop feeling trapped. And that mindset shift carries forward. You're not bad with money. You're just operating without margin. Margin changes everything. You need momentum. Momentum starts with income. Debt doesn't define you. Your next move does. I'll see you in the next one.